Okay, looks like, yep, we are live and ready to go. All right, so this is Mike from Millennium Martial Arts, coming to you for the 194th time, almost 200 episodes of Time Out Tuesday. It's almost 4 years of doing these videos every week. Really should probably go back and check some of the earlier ones. I wonder what the heck I was saying 4 years ago, that I actually still have something to say now, 4 years later. It's actually never really thought that I'd be doing these for so long. But I guess every week, we reflect on the week and we think about different things maybe that we experienced at the school or learned or something that's worth sharing. So, I hope that somebody's enjoying watching these videos. Continue to do them for the foreseeable future. So, in any case, this week something did kind of sneak up on me, and it made me realize that learning is something that kind of sneaks up on you over time. Sometimes you're so immersed in something that it's hard to realize that you're progressing or getting better at it. That's certainly true in almost anything, martial arts, music, other things that you might take on, that if you're not kind of keeping track of your progress in some kind of a meaningful way, it can be hard to figure out whether or not you actually are making progress. And what happened this week was kind of interesting, and it's not really directly related to martial arts or my personal martial arts training, although I guess it has to do with my teaching side of my martial arts training. So I was speaking with a mom and from one of a couple of our students actually, and she had made an observation watching one of the classes that we had a child start with us, and the child had some behavioral issues, and she observed that on day one she was wondering whether or not we would succeed with this student and their behavioral issues. And that came from having experienced hundreds and hundreds of our classes. I think one of her sons has over 700 classes with us. So she's been around. She has seen a lot of classes. She's seen a lot of kids making their way through our program, some successfully, others that didn't quite, make it and stick it out. So she has some experience, and it was interesting to hear her observation. There's some other things about her experience that also lend credence to why I was listening so carefully. And so, in any case, she made an observation that on day one, she was wondering whether or not this child would succeed. Again, based on having seen hundreds of other kids and observing hundreds of classes. But then she was shocked that by class 3 or 4, a lot of the behaviors that were troublesome in class had been sort of controlled, and the students seemed to have kind of figured out the protocols and figured out how to contain some of those behaviors so that he would succeed in the classes. And she said that she was really shocked that it happened so quickly. I think it was in a matter of 5 classes that she made that observation. And I was thinking about that a lot. It was an interesting observation to hear, again, especially from this particular person. And then, interestingly, today I got a phone call from a mom of somebody, of a child with special needs, but she also was a representative from their PTA, piecing together a list of, I guess, a directory of sorts of local businesses that are capable of servicing children with special needs, and to what extent each one of those businesses are capable of servicing different levels and types of special needs. And we were talking for quite a long time, and she was asking me some very pointed questions about who would likely succeed, who wouldn't succeed, what are we capable of doing, what are we not capable of doing, and certain things that we've not even experienced yet. And then I had to sort of speculate on whether or not we would think that it was a good idea to try. And I was just, after I got off the phone, I started thinking to myself, what I was describing to her was really my current process for vetting students. I tend to speak to every single person that's going to join our school in advance on the phone. I like to have a fairly extensive conversation, learn about them, learn about their child. If there are special needs, really delve into that a little bit, how those special needs manifest themselves, behaviors, how they manifest themselves, what kind of things could trigger a behavioral episode, things like that. So I know whether or not we're going to be a good fit, rather than try to get somebody just into the school and sign up for a membership and then not really be able to succeed with them. I'd rather not do that. I'd rather make sure that we're going to have a positive experience, and I want to convey that as accurately as possible. And so over the years, I've learned how to ask a bunch of questions, draw on other students' experiences that we've had, things that worked, things that didn't work. And I guess our success rate is increasing in this regard because we do a better job of figuring out in advance, who would likely work well. But it then occurred to me also that the other thing that happens is that we get better at things. And this particular mom that came to me originally and said, I was surprised that that things worked so quickly this time with this student, or in recent experiences with other students. I thought about that more, and I realized, well, since that person had started with us, which was about 5 years ago, I've also been teaching for 5 more years. And I'm no different from anyone else. If somebody starts playing the tuba today, they're definitely going to be a lot better in 5 years from now. And if you start a job today, not having any idea what you're doing for this particular business, in 5 years from now, you would have a reasonable expectation of being significantly better at it. And I guess that's really no different than what we do at the school. We learn, we draw on our experiences, we learn from lessons learned, things that didn't work, we try to figure out why, and we try to figure out how to do a better job next time. And so that really makes, I guess, teaching martial arts no different really than learning martial arts, is that we learn from our mistakes, we practice, we get better, we try to see things coming, we try to avert negative experiences, promote positive experiences, and try to be aware, situationally aware of things as early as possible. And so it snuck up on me that obviously we've gotten better over the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years of teaching, and I guess I'm sort of surprised that it surprised me. So that was my own sort of revelation this week, is that it's hard to kind of keep an eye on your own skill set, and when someone draws attention to it and says, hey, you've gotten really good at something, it's good to take a pause, reflect on the why on that, and realize that that's also going to carry you forward, and maybe even pay a little bit more attention to lessons learned and current experiences. Take a look at what's working and what's not, and try to capitalize on those things. So in any case, that's really it for today's Time Out Tuesday. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. We're neck deep in our back to school, so we got a lot of new students that have joined us. October actually becomes our busier month for back to school, so we know that we'll be getting a lot of new students arriving to learn martial arts with us. We're excited about that, and I hope everyone has a fantastic October. Peace to everybody. See you next Tuesday.